are checking out Rhino by Aurora DSP. All the tones that you just heard in that intro song were from this plugin. It's also one of the most comprehensive amp sims that I've played. We'll get to some tones in just a second, but first let's take a look at what you get in this plugin, and it's quite a bit. So this is the plugin here. As you can tell, they haven't gone for the typical graphic of an amplifier, which is kind of nice for a change. If you go up here, you can change it from dark mode to light mode. I generally just leave it on the dark mode because I'm still living my emo life from the 2000s. And then you've got a tuner over here. So for this plugin, you get 6 different little modules to shape your tone. For the first module, we've got the input. You get a noise gate. You can play around with the attack and the release of that. There's also these character settings here, which I'm not entirely sure what they do, but sometimes I like to put it on hot to kind of just crispy up the signal that's going in. You also get a high pass filter, which is nice. In the next module, we have an EQ. Very handy to have this in a amp sim. It means I can be lazy and I don't need to open another plugin. My only gripe with this is that you cannot turn individual EQ bands on and off. You can only turn the entire EQ section off. You also get tone matching, which would be really handy if I knew how to use it. We then have a power amp / IR section. They've done this in a really cool way that makes it so easy to blend cabs. You see here this little dot in the center. If I want to only have IR1, I just bring it all the way to IR1 and it'll just be playing through IR1. If I want to blend it with IR4, I can just come down here and blend it with IR4. Obviously, if I want a mix of all 4 of them, I would just leave it in the middle, which I find really cool to have. You don't need to just kind of like flick through IRs. You've just got 4 straight away up here. And you can also just cycle different IRs in the different sections up here. Not only that, but these IRs are made by Jens Bogren. Enough said, really. They sound amazing. So in the power amp section of this, you have control over the presence, the resonance, and also hot, which kind of adds high mids. You've also got these settings down here, flat, studio, and live. I've been using it on flat a lot of the time, to be honest, but recently I've kind of found a bit of a love for the studio. We'll touch on those again a little bit later on and you can hear the difference. All right, next up, my favorite part, we have the preamp section as well as some pedals. So you get 5 different amp heads in this plugin, which is insane. And I did kind of think left to right went from, kind of mellow to absolutely bonkers, but I don't think that's the case. My 2 favorite amp heads are the blue and the purple ones. I don't know what they're called. I just go by the colors. So like with any amp, got control over the lows, the mids, and the highs. You also get a high pass and a low pass. And you can also mix the amount of the amp actually coming through on your DI. So that's not something that's included often in an amp sim. So that's pretty cool to have. And then this big button here is for the gain. Now over to the left here, we've got our pedals. You get a tube screamer. You get the brute pedal, which we'll touch on that a bit later. That's probably one of my favorite parts of this plugin. You get a fuzz pedal, and then you get some compression. Now down here, you've got your effects, you've got your flanger, your chorus, and your phase, and all the good stuff to kind of sculpt it how you want it. Then you've got your time-based effects, reverb and delay. And then last but not least, we've got the out section. And this is also one of my favorite parts as well. You get what I believe would be a multi-band compressor, just focusing on the low frequencies, 100 to 250 hertz, I'm guessing, I don't know. Now that one you can easily overdo it, but I love that they have this, as well as a limiter, which is awesome. I smash this on everything. We don't want dynamics here, man. We just want to smash everything in the face. So that is everything that you get with the Rhino plugin. As I said, there's quite a bit, and it might be a little bit intimidating when you first open it up, but once you kind of play around with it for a little bit and figure out what everything does, it's pretty straightforward. And it's just super over the top, and I just love it because I'm just someone that overdoes everything. So this gives me the ability to screw everything up even more. So now we're going to take a look at some presets that I've made using this plugin. And if you like this plugin, you can get it for 20% off using the discount code in the description below. Heard some presets, I'm just going to cycle a riff and we're going to play around with some of the settings within Rhino just to kind of give you guys an idea of the capabilities that each module has. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you like this plugin, you can get it or any other Aurora DSP plugin for 20% off using the discount code below. I'll catch you in another video with plenty more riffs. Bye.